Hi guys, in this lecture we are going to explain how to manage our theme. So most of the application you have seen light theme, dark theme, like you can switch between theme, right? So we are going to explain how we can achieve this in React Native. For that one I have already created one project, you can see in my desktop. So if you are not able to create a project, what you have to do, just type the command npx react native init theme. So this is a project which I have created. Now I have imported my project in my VS Code and you can see the project is running on my device, right? Now what we are going to do, we are going to remove all the by default code. Yes, here you can see by default code. Now also I'm going to remove this section as well. So just keeping app functional component. Yes, so we can just remove this section as well. You can just type view style flex equal to 1. We can give a background color for identification. We can just give red, right? Now what we can do, we can just remove this one. We can remove this section as well. I only need a text, so we can just remove all other code which is creating by React Native. Okay, here. Now what I am going to do, I am going to align this text at the center, align items, sender, justify content, sender. Fine. Now what we can do, we can remove the unwanted style which is not using. We can just remove this one. Yes. Now we can just check what is rendering on React Native. We can just remove this as well. Yes, on the section you can see app.js is printing, so align item center justify content center also should work, but it is not working. So we can just highlight. Yes, is there flex equal to 1. Yes, it should work. Flex equal to 1, and just change the color into green. Okay, now we can just check align items center justify content center. Okay, if I refresh, app.js should be at the center. Yes, it's center. Now what we need to do, so we can change into light theme or dark theme according to a switch, right? So what we are going to do here, we are going to do a black color. Now here you can see as this is dark mode color is returning, so we can just have a is dark mode or true black, otherwise we can just have a white. Now let's see what happening. If I refresh, yes, it's in not in the dark color, it's a white color. So use color schema is a React Native API which will return the state of color of mobile application. If you have any query, we can just check out the documentation. So just go here, use color schema in React Native. So this is a built-in API of React Native. So use color schema is a React hook provide and subscribe to the color schema update from the appearance module. The module which is of the device module. Okay, so it can return two color, whether light, dark, null. Okay, so this is a use color schema is a React Native API which is return the state of color of our mobile. Okay, so this is the schema which is returning who can subscribe to the color schema update from the appearance module. So appearance module information of user appearance preference adjust their color schema, right? So you can set color schema in your device, that value is returning from use color schema. So that is here in my device it is returning light to light because I didn't do anything, right? Now so for dark mode I can just set the color as well. Here I'm just setting my color is dark mode, is dark mode. If it is dark mode we can just return white color, otherwise you can just return dark color, right? So now if I just look into my emulator, nothing changed, right? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a switch here, sorry, React Native switch. So I imported one switch here. Then I am going to declare a use state here, so we can just use state. Fine. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just create a variable is dark. Okay, now we can just set is dark, one method to change the value of is dark. So use state we can just declare here, and we can just pass this value as initial, right? Now what I'm going to do, on the switch here we can just declare switch, we need to pass a value, so we can just pass is dark. So is dark, I'm just checking the methods of is switch, so where I can get the values when I'm changing that, right? So here we can just, yes, on value change, here I'm just returning a value, then I'm just copying this into set is dark. Okay, now if I just close this one, let us check what happened. We can just have a refresh. Here you can see a switch statement. Now if I just switch into here, I need to set into dark color, right? So what is happening? Yes, I need to change into is dark mode into this one. Okay, now if I just check, refresh again, if I check, see, this is changing into black theme, right? All the application is changing into black theme. Here one mistake we are doing, for is dark, the text color should be in the opposite direction, right? Now if I just check, yes, it's fine. Or if it is not black, if the background color is white, so is dark, we should have the opposite of this one, so we can black, not dark. Okay, so we can just change into the opposite direction. Previously we have done a mistake, so we can just change. Now if I just refresh my screen, here you can see now the text color is black. Now if I just change my theme, all the background color is changed into black and the text is changed into black. Here you can see, right? Now currently what happened, we have managed all these things using state, right? Here the problem come when we have multiple screen or multiple component, we cannot define all this state, or we cannot pass this whole state into the entire component or entire application, right? Sir, for that one, what we are going to do, we are going to organize this theme provider or theme context into a context method, right? So for that one, what I am going to do, I am going to declare a folder here, src, sorry, delete this one. I am going to declare a folder src here, right? Inside this folder, I am going to create one more folder, theme. So this folder, in this folder, we are going to manage all our theme concept. Okay, for that one, first we need two set of color, right? So here you can see when it is black, we are using our text as white, right? And when it is black, background color is white, we are using our text as black. So this color, there will be two set of colors, right? Light colors and dark colors. So we can go to the theme and we can create a folder, colors.js. Here I am going to declare two constant, export const light colors. Okay, just light colors, and also we have export const dark colors. So we will be having two set, light colors and dark colors. So we can just improvise, sorry, yes, light colors and dark colors. Fine. Now what we can do, we can just declare primary. Here what will be in the light color, primary color will be white, and the text color will be black, right? So we can just do text color black. Here in the dark color, the primary color will be black, right? So we can just declare primary color black and the text color will be white, right? So we have created two set of colors, light colors and dark colors, right? Now what we need to create a function where we can manage all this concept switching between colors in one file, right? For that one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a provider. So if you are not aware of context or use context API, you can check out the videos about context. Here I am going to create one context where I'm calling as theme provider .js. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to import React from React. Fine, right? So what the next step is, what is the next step? We need to import all colors, right, which we are going to use in this sec file. So we can just import light colors and dark colors from colors. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to create the context. So we can just export context, theme context. So here we are going to create the theme context. So how to create a context? We have to import from React. So we can just import that method, create context. Okay, so create context. Now we can pass the initial values, right? So I'm just passing my initial values, dark. So whether I can get a value dark, false, and colors. So initial value of the colors will be, we can just pass light color for now. Now there should be a function to change this color, right? So I'm just declaring a function set schema as an empty function, right? I'm not writing any logic for this one for now. So because this is a initialization, right? So we don't want to write any logic here. We are just creating a context here. Now the next thing is we need a provider, right? So if you are not aware of the context, you can check out the videos of context. Now I am going to create a context provider, right? So you can just theme provider. Okay, here I will be passing my props. So because I'm going to create this as a HOC component, so just I'm passing props here. Now the first step, we need to get the initial value, right? So initial value, where we are creating the initial value using the use color schema, which is the device state, right? So we can just import our use state here, right? So we can just get the initial value. We don't want to view switch anything here. We can just remove yes, use color schema. Right, now I am going to declare a variable used const color schema. So we can just remove this use, and I am assessing the value using React Native use color schema API. As I mentioned, what is use color schema API, which is the by default setting returning from the device, right? So we are getting the value. Now I am going to declare this state function, right? So I'm just copying this one here. Fine, now I'm going to pass this value color schema, right? So either you can just return, more specifically we can do one thing, we can return this rather than passing the value. We can just declare a condition here. If it is dark, then return the value true to the is dark, right? So if it is dark, then the value of is dark will be true. If it is not dark, use color schema value will be false, right? So use color schema can be three values. It can be three values. Either it will be returned dark, you can check out the document here, you can see, or light is another value returning from use color schema, or it can be null, right? Now if the value of color schema is dark, we are setting is dark value is true. That means device already in the dark mode. Okay, now the next thing is we need to get a listener, right? Whenever the value of color schema change, we also need to change the value of is dark, right? So for that one, what I am going to do, I am going to create a use effect. So use effect you can create as a component did update, right? Or component did mount. So here I am using as a component did update. Whenever the value of color schema change, it should also change the set is dark value, right? So we can just pass the logic here. What is the logic? Color schema equal to dark. Okay, so whenever the value of color schema change or the returning value of use color schema change, this will change the is dark value also, right? So it will call the set is dark and this will change the value, right? So we have created a listener for use color schema, right? Now we need to create the function for manual change. User can come here and they can switch between colors, right? So this is a manual change. So we need to create method for that one. This we are achieving using context. For that one, what you can do, I'm just going to create a default schema or default theme, right? Here what I'm going to do, I'm just copying this all, okay, copying this all, then dark value I am supplying for my is dark. Okay, now also colors, if it is dark then I have to supply dark colors, right? Otherwise light colors. So here light colors. Now there should be a method to change this value, right? So the method only contain a value, right? So we can just check scheme. If the scheme is dark, then we can just call this method again. Set is dark, scheme is equal to dark. So what this method will do, if we are calling this set schema with dark value, so it will change is dark. If we are returning dark, then it will be true. Otherwise, set is dark value will be false. So we are created a function to call or to manipulate this value using switch, or we are changing the theme anywhere. If you are changing theme anywhere in the application, you just need to call this method and pass the value. So it will manually change our theme. Clear? Now what we need to return this provider, right? So we can just return theme context dot provider. So we need to supply a value to the provider, right? So we can just supply the value default theme. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to wrap the children into this provider, right? So just I'm going to wrap my children props dot children. Okay, so we have created a theme provider and theme context. Now what we need to get a hook. So we are going to create a custom hook for receiving this value. So for that one, what I am going to do here, I'm just creating a hook. So for that one, just creating a custom hook for assessing the values. We can just assessing the values. Now what we can do, we can just create a hook, export const use theme. This is the hook which we are going to create, and what we can do, just consume this value. For that one, what we need, use context. So this is the API provided by React.js for consuming the context, right? So we can just use context here. We can just supply the context, right? So this context is here, theme context. Now what is the here, provider, sorry, should be provider, right? So this is the context we are going to use for consuming the values. Now before going to use this provider, what I am going to do, I am going to delete all this logic. Okay, now what I am going to do, I am going to create a folder here, screen. Okay, so suppose assume that this is my first screen. I am going to create a home screen here, right? So home screen .js. Okay, now what we can do, we can just declare a functional component here, import react from React. Now what I am going to do, I am just declaring a home screen, a functional component for rendering the switch, right? So just export default home screen. Now what we can do, we can just copy this old method into our home screen. We can just return it from here. Fine, I can just make it here. Now the next thing what we need, we can just import this home screen for now. So we can just import home screen on app.js. You can just import from src screen home screen. Now one thing we need to import is our provider, right? So we can just import. So our provider is here, so we can just copy theme provider from src. So we can just theme provider, right? Now we can just remove this is dark here, so we can just value, we can just white, remove this all value so that it will not break on the initial render. So I'm just passing white for now, and here it is, I'm passing as black, and also I'm just consoling the value here right now because we are not have that method for now. Yes, white, fine. Now we can just wrap our home screen inside our provider. Just wrap. Now let's see what happened. We can just restart our application once more. So use state is not declared, so we have some errors. So we can just declare use state here. So we can just also format the doc. So use context also already we have provided. So view is not defined on the home screen. Yes, we have missed that view and switches. So we can just import view text switch from React Native, right? Yes. Now if I just there should be one value, we can just return the false for now. Now again refresh. Oh yes, styles highlight should be not, we can just copy this styles into home screen, and also I need to import style sheet, right? So you can just import style sheet. Fine. Now if I refresh, let's see what's happening. Yes, our initial screen is rendered. Now what we need to use this logic inside our home screen, right? For the next thing is we need to use our hook in our this component, right? For that one, what we can do, we can just import our hook. So we can just import our hook, use theme from theme provider, right? Now just go to the definition, you can see use theme here. So for there is a small fix we have to do. Here we are returning direct value. I don't want to return direct value here. So for that one, what I am going to do, I am making this as a hook. For that one, what I am going to do, I am making this as a function, right? You can if you want to see the difference, we can just go here and console use theme. So here I am going to console theme. Okay, just open my debugger and refresh the application. Yes, you can see here it is directly returning the values. I don't want to directly return the value. I need to make this as a hook. Hook means it should be a function, right? So I am going to change this as a function here, right? So that function I can use in my component, right? So I am going to use this hook. So what are the value it is returning? One is dark and colors and set schema, where the function we will get to change the value, right? So now what I am going to do, I am going to distract this here dark, and then colors, then we can go here set schema, right? Set schema, then we can just use this hook here. I'm just declaring the hook here. Now if you want to just check out, I just console here. Now once again I'm going to reload the function. So just sorry, I'm just reloading my function. Here you can see it is returning the values set schema. I am distracting that values here, right, in the function. Now what I am going to do, I am going to remove this one. Fine. Now I am going to use the colors here, right? For using the colors, what I have to do, check. I'm just checking I'm changing the background color as colors dot primary, and text also I'm just changing it. Just look at the ribbon should be at text, right? So I'm just changing into colors dot text, right? Now if we just refresh the screen once more, you can see it is rendered correctly because initial theme is light theme, right? So if you just check out here dark, the value of this will be false, so that's why it is rendering as white. Now if I just change this value, I need to change this as black, right? For that one, what I am going to do, I am going to supply the value for switch. Here is switch, I'm just supplying my value. On value change, what I need to do, I need to call a function. I'm going to declare that function const toggle theme. Here I'm just declaring one function. This is an arrow function, and inside that one I'm checking if it is dark. If it is already dark, what I have to do, I have to change this into light, right? I have to change this into light. Otherwise, if it is not dark, if it is light, then I have to change into dark. So two value you can pass, right? Either it should be light, either it should be dark. If you check out the documentation, you can see either it should be dark or light. So I have passed according to the condition. If it is already dark, I am changing into light. If it is not already dark, I am changing into dark. Now I need to add this function on value change, right? I need to call this function on value change. Now I just going to refresh my function. If I just change, see the magic, all the component, all the function, all the values are changed into according to our theme, right? Background color is changed into black, and the text is changed into white color. Now it is assessing the colors of dark, right? If it is dark, the background color is black and text color is white. Now if it is light theme, what will be? If it is light theme, background color will be white and the text color will be black. So we have managed all our theming concept, all our theming logic inside this provider. So main concept, we have to declare a theme context, and we have to define if it is already user color schema is coming from the device, then we have to set that value. And if we have to declare a method to change it manually, that value you can use in the set is dark method. Clear? So we have managed all our theme logic inside theme provider. Hope you have enjoyed this lecture, and we can meet on the next lecture. Thank you.